Keep busting. Keep busting. Keep busting.
Hey, that's me. Welcome into the channel, and I hope you're enjoying The Beginner's Guide, Surviving Livonia. This is our 4th installment, and I've dropped a lot of information on your ass. I don't expect you to retain much of it, or any of it for that matter. But if you follow my simple guidelines, you will remain one sly individual. Covert, unseen, unheard, alive. Okay, we're pushing southwest from Pataki Camps. There's a small cottage right north of Dolnik and another large encampment up on top of the hill. I want to check those out before wrapping around the bottom of Dolnik and coming up through. Now, I do like this improvised backpack I'm wearing. It is low profile. It means when I'm prone, I'm not bulbous. I don't look like a body. But I need something that isn't a stark contrast to my costume, what I'm wearing. I need a green bag or a darker bag. Yeah, fresh box of 308. Never turn those up. Well, it looks as though I'm not the only one that's taken this route. What I tell you, where you see rocks, players have been. It looks like I got myself off course. I'm facing the opposite way. There we go. Usually the number one complaint with new DayZ players is I don't know where the hell I am. Well, if you're new, you don't know where you want to go. So does it really matter where you are? All you need to do is survive. The map will unveil itself to you eventually. And remember, where mushroom grow, people go. It's no great surprise that I'm finding stone and mushroom along this trail. There's an ADA spawn at this cottage where we're heading. It's a good point of interest. And there's the cozy cabin. Well, there's no four-wheel drive here. It's usually parked right there. Pay attention to your environment. I know, it's fun jumping in party with friends, but when chatter gets too loud, you can't hear the infected or other players around you. Listen. Check greenhouses and gardens. Sometimes you find seeds for growing, and as well as fruit, varying from tomato, potato, zucchini, you name it. And very convenient if you have water and you find a shovel in a shed just as that. Which brings us to our next lesson, the shovel. When you get rid of player or infected and you want to hide evidence, you can bury them with the shovel. Here, I'll demonstrate on this unsuspecting victim. I'm sorry, sir. It was sanctioned by the university. It's for education. And there you have it. Perry Mason couldn't get him out of that hole. Sweet, Hunter's Backpack. We'll expand our inventory from 42 slot backpack to 63, and it's a slight darker color. When you find a hand transceiver and you have the battery for it, go ahead, pop it in, turn it on, and flip through the dials. Sometimes you can pick up some chatter. It's an excellent means to search for player, and you can link up with new friends. However, I caution you, not everyone has your best intentions at heart. That's right, betrayal is Daisy's #1 weapon. Now let's discard of this backpack. We wouldn't want anyone to benefit from our efforts. It's too bad you couldn't break this down, take the canvas and the rope. They both have uses. You can break down the canvas and combine it with netting to make ghillie suit. Or if you're so inclined, you can put it over someone's head. Helps in robberies. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can rob people. If you choose not to kill them, rob them. There's one more deer stand down by the pond in an abandoned house I want to check before I leave this valley. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but don't forget, scan your environment. I'm about to climb up a ladder and my back will be exposed and I won't be able to shoot back. This is a building that's unique to this map only. I really like it. It should be incorporated into Chernaris. Normally I'd look for motorcycle helmets and throw them on. They're hella warm, but this ghillie hood is plenty warmth. And more suitable for the intentions of this video, to show you how to stay alive. Yeah, we will take larger risks as we get more comfortable with the mechanics. Now, I don't know about you, and a lot would disagree, but I always consider a successful run when you never see a player or are never seen by a player. You wouldn't think that 163 square kilometers that you would run into another player, but on a 60 slot server, it can get congested pretty quick. And with similar points of interest and everyone after the same thing, you're undoubtedly going to come across someone eventually. But with patience and perseverance, by the end of this series, you should innately have situational awareness and be prepared with the most logical situational response to any given situation that arises. Now this compound that I'm looking at right now, it is on the southeasternmost tip of the map. Well, pretty damn close. It's a truck spawn, it's a car spawn, and high traffic area for base. Doesn't look like anyone's set up there now, but we're still going to be cautious on our approach. Now I initially swapped out this jacket, but then realized the one I was wearing was in better condition, so I swapped it back. Well, there doesn't appear to be a truck or a car here. Someone's beat me to the punch. However, all the infected are standing. Always make sure you got a sewing kit on you. Even if you don't need it for your clothing, in a pinch when you have no bandage, you can use it on your wounds. However, you do face getting infection. With that, you'll need iodine or alcohol. And you'll know instantly when you get an infection. You'll get the sick icon, and you'll start groaning in pain. And it progressively gets worse. Now, if my inventory wasn't so cramped, I'd snap that bottle up. Combined with duct tape, I can make myself an improvised suppressor. However, it won't fit on this blaze, so no point. and it just gets in the way on handguns. Well, there didn't appear to be too much useful here at all, so we're going to wrap around to the bottom of Dolnik and take a peek-see. A good practice that allows you to search when you're running. Hold your L1 button. This is your camera and it allows you to move your head freely, keeping the same trajectory you're moving. I do believe we have covered this before. There be the last house in the township of Dolnik. We're at the arse end of her, kids. The Deep South. Okay, let the looting begin, and remember, don't let your guard down. Nice, there's a compass on the table. Now remember, with this orienteering compass, the red is always pointing north, that way. As indicated, we're facing northeast. However, our direction, we're heading west from here. So Dolnik is a unique town. It is a spawn town, however, it is in the Tier 4 criteria, and the industrial complex holds a unique section, which is marked in purple on iSurvive. In these areas, you can find anything from Tier 1 to Tier 4, including, and not limited to, C4, remote detonator charges, and a lot of very useful building supplies. Whilst I scope out town, I'm going to take the opportunity to look at the hills where we're going to eventually go. Along this route, there are a few hidden cottages that you can pick up some great weapons. Alright, now that is the tower on the PD. PD is a yellow rectangular building. 3 floors. Proceed with caution. This is a high point of interest. A lot of freshies run straight to PD to acquire their first firearm. And down here in Dolnik, it's going to be a range of handguns to light machine gun, shotgun, and even medium-range sniper rifles. Now in these utility buildings, you sometimes find building supplies, loose clothing, car parts, a variety of things. Now you don't have to do this, but I find the best way to observe a town is from the air. Since we don't have drones or the capability of flight, take to the roof. Just be smart about it. And that right there, folks, is the unique industrial area, marked in purple on iSurvive. I do believe in this map there are 5 to 6 unique locations. Just zoom in. Some of them are pretty small. I hear lunch roaming around. Lucky for him, we got enough food on us. Speaking of which, why aren't there eggs in DayZ? There's all kinds of chicken coops. No eggs. Well, you've seen that building in episode 1. That's the medical center. We're all good. We don't need to go in there. Albeit I'm wet at the moment, but if you can keep yourself dry and keep your water and your food up in the white, you're rarely going to get sick. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the compound bow. This is damaged, and we're going to weigh the pros and cons of having this right now. Pro, it is silent as hell, and it is the easiest weapon to arm. All you need is a knife and some sticks. It adds a lot of weight to your overall stamina, if that applies on a server, and it takes up a lot of vision when you're in first person. Not to mention, it's pretty noisy when it's shouldered. Okay, we've wrapped around the west side of town and we're going to push up into that unique industrial area. Hey, look at that. Now this is a red flag to me. When you see an infected on a roof of a house or a building, he was most likely agitated up there. The only thing, his arms aren't out. Ooh, look at there. He's cued to something. Interesting. Like I was saying, his arms aren't bent out in an elbow. He hasn't seen anybody, but he's on alert. Therefore, we are. Look before you leap, and you always assess risk versus reward. When you arrive at a situation like this in early life cycle, you really have nothing to lose. And I'm not promoting gear fear whatsoever. Everything you have can be replaced. It's out there, you just got to find it. That's just it. It's the investment in time. With this game, everything is an investment of your time. It's laborious. With that being said, there are different situations. If you're out for pure PvP on a high loot server, we'll go balls out. Run in, get killed, kill, and learn. Learn how to fight. But if you want to learn how to survive, take your time. And this, right here, this is another indication or a flag. A player has been around. And that was my sad attempt at trying to lock her into that garage. Now I'll have to entice her in. And there you go. Now you don't have to go into every garage unless you're looking for everything. I'm only highlighting looking for specific things. And with the noise that we caused to that infected and that garage door, we're going to rotate out of that area and just observe. Now we'll let that area calm down and move up and around to the next section. Now there's a specific reason why I loot Dolnik from the bottom up. If you're not spawning here, you're coming in from the north, which means anyone that is here is focused on the north, looking for fresh people coming in. Now it's not a science set in stone, I have no evidence to prove my theory, however, logic dictates I would come in behind them if they're focused north. Well, there's a haze in the sky and it's getting slightly dark. I think a storm is moving in. Let's pop in here, take a look around. I think all I really need is pliers if we plan on building anything. Even if not, we run into a player, we have a hell of a lot of building supplies on us that we can use to barter or trade, if they're willing to talk. And yes, I did say I didn't really have any intentions to build anything, but I figure you might. So we'll show you how to build a rudimentary lockup. And what did I tell you? It's starting to rain. I'm already wet. This is not going to help. Nothing in the shitter. Hey, look there, multivitamins. I've already got some. Now, I'm wet. I don't have time for a fire. Get your meds into you, get some water into you, keep hydrated, keep on the move. You can wring your clothes out whenever you find a dry spot, and you can lay them by the fire to dry them quicker. But again, I caution you, choose wisely when you want to light a fire and where. Another area I like to check for player activity, plank spawns. Look at there. Someone's been harvesting plank. Someone is here, was here, and will be back. Now you want to most definitely consider this a combat situation and employ OODA loop. You've observed the situation, you're orientating yourself for a situational response, and you're going to decide, after reviewing the area, what you're going to do. And once you decide, you act upon it. You can aggressively patrol the area with perception of a hostile intent, or you can strategically and tactfully pull back, assess the situation, discern whether the risk is worth the reward, and make a judgment. Someone is obviously building here or very close by. I think what I'm going to do is rotate up north just a touch, observe the area, and ride out the storm. Now the great defensive thing about Dolnik is there is only one main road in and out, north and south, with one side dirt trail off to the west, which is easily contained for a larger group. I'll observe that road out north and take that to our advantage. Now I nestled myself on this embankment for about 15-20 minutes, took care of some food, water, and observed the area and seen nothing. I suspect that player is logged off or is long gone, took what he needed and left. With the storm letting up, the sun starting to peek through the clouds, I think it's time to rotate out of here and return on my quest to find a tundra or a savanna, and then, we're going to point our way up towards Sword. This situation has made me realize that, we definitely have to take our risk for reward up a little and put a little bit of our time on the line and get us equipped to deal with other players. Chainmail. Another one of Daisy's useless items. Don't even bother. 16 slots. Yeah, it's a lot of armor. It's heavy. Don't even bother. Useless. Alright, let's get our bearings straight on our next target. That cottage right there. 3 strategic reasons why I skirt the edge of the map, especially down at the bottom of Livonia. Number 1, you always come across bases or stashes. Number 2, a less probability of encounter with another player. And 3, the out-of-the-way cottages have really good firearms, tundras, savannas, things of this nature. Things I like. And keep in mind, even these out-of-the-way houses and cottages will still have infected around them, or potentially. And there she is, Savannah. No clip for it, I'll have to run chambered. No scope, no worries. I have a blaze. Take the scope off it, and we'll get rid of the blaze. Again, I could be a nice guy and leave it for the next person, but there's a 100% chance that a 308 will end up in the back of my head if I do. Well, I got the gun I'm looking for, but I still need a clip, so on to the next cottage. Well, there she is. There's more than a few times that I've found crates full of building supplies all along these trees. Someone's setting up to build a base here. Do yourself a favor, check for traps. And would you look at there? See what I mean about these cottages? You're always going to find something that fires 308, or something to do with that gun. A scope, a box of ammo, gun cleaning kit. These cottages are out of the way, but well worth a stop. And don't forget to check the shitters. More than enough times, I'm finding sharpening stones in them. There's nails in these, but sharpening stone are worth their weight in gold. One sharpening stone will keep a hatchet and a hacksaw alive long enough for you to build a small fortification or to cage up a building. Okay, I'm going to take a knee, get our bearings. And remember what I said about this orienteering compass that I'm using. Red is always facing north, thus we're pointing west. Well, there's the cottage I was heading to, and it would seem that someone has taken up an occupancy. OODA loop. Observe, orientate, decide, and act. Although a sniper tactic, very applicable to everyday life situations in DayZ. Observe, listen, take your time. not a race. I'm not sure if this is an unfinished base or a base that's been broken into. It's missing the last wall. Doesn't appear to be any damage on these walls. I don't know. Hey, look at there. Savannah with a clip. And a black quilted jacket. If I wasn't wearing this hunter jacket, this would be the other jacket I would wear. Alright, let's rotate the hell out of here. I do believe my Savannah is in better condition, but we need that clip. So, off to the bush, get that settled. Ah shit, I think that infected seed me. Oh, the clip is damaged on this as well, but not to fear, I do have a gun cleaning kit. You can get it in tip-top shape. Well, it breaks my heart throwing away a perfectly fine scope like this, and a Savannah for that matter. However, damaged, repairable. I've got the vibe that that's an unfinished base. We're going to stick a pin in that, and we'll be back. Okay, let's take a look-see. The road to Swarg. Now we are southeast, and it is northwest of us. So I think we're going to follow this main line up, and then when we get to a certain point, we're going to cut west. There is a mountain range that runs between that industrial and Swarg. So again, we're going to follow the road, but not take the road. We're going to keep our distance and keep an eye. There's not much to cover on an open round like this. You want to stick to as much cover as possible, keep scanning your environment, and stay in shadow as long as possible, because your shadow cutting across the long day sun will alert another player in vicinity. It's amazing what the eye will catch up in their peripheral vision. You have to be of the mind that other people have the same high-powered scope as you. If you can see them, they can see you. And obviously the advantage is seeing your opponent first. Now that we have a rifle that can shoot over 800 meters with 11 shots, I'm more than confident that we'll get where we're going safely. It's also a good habit to get into to constantly refer to your compass and or your map. And do I really have to remind you to check both ways before crossing a road? I think Mommy and Daddy should have did a good enough job on that. Okay, now that's the rock cropping I was talking about, and right there, that's our destination. It's a little hobo camp, and we're going to call our session right there. I'm being called into work, and I have to get ready. We're still about 20 kilometers away. It's about a 4-minute run. We'll make it as quick as possible. All right, we're really close now. Just one more little valley to clear. This rock cropping has a dirt track on either side of it running parallel. It's pretty easy to hear a vehicle when you're hiding up here. Now the encampment I'm looking for is just straight down there. And here we are, a little hobo shack. Well, that looks like a rough Saturday, that. Glad I went them. Alright, let's see what treasures are here. Hunter jacket. And, oh, here's another useless item. Daisy, get rid of this garbage. No one likes it. Well, I've made it to the destination I set for myself for today, and we're going to call it right here. Before we do that, we'll find a nice safe place to log off in. Behind this shack, nestled in the rocks, should do. Alright, I hope you've learned a few things today, and I hope you're willing to learn some more on our next adventure. We'll be heading straight west to Swarg.
But you just don't let it on. Sometimes it's better to be dishonest with yourself.